Time in YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Theme Deck Corner, where we look at the second deck from Burning Shadows, GlitchxCity. This one features Lycanroc, who's a stage 1 fighting type with 110 HP, has Rock Throws, its first attack for 1 fighting, 1 colorless, you're going to do 30 damage, so a little bit of chip damage right off the bat, not bad. And then you've got that Excel Rock for 2 fighting, 1 colorless, 100 damage. The difference between this one and the previous deck that we looked at yesterday is this one has a lot more raw power, but it's not as many techs, not as many tricks up its sleeve. It's still got plenty of things that can save you in a bind, but not as many as the last one. Anyway, let's see what it's all in here. We've got the Bouffalant, like we saw in the last deck. Bouffalant is actually in this deck as well. 120 HP, colorless Pokemon, basic with Bouffalant Head, 2 colorless energy, you're going to do 30. And during your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage. It also has Knock Over, 3 colorless, 80 damage, and you get to discard a Stadium card, which is really cool. We have our Stage 2 in the deck, and that is Rhyperior. And again, one thing I've enjoyed about this set is every deck they had has a complete line of Pokemon. So if they put the Pokemon in there, they fully evolve. And Rhyperior is our big stage 2 of the deck, which has 160 HP. He is a fighting type, and even if you just want to evolve him, he gives you an ability that when you evolve this Pokemon from your, evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. So you do have a little bit of mill, not really going to help out too much in Theme Deck, but his attack is Rock Wrecker, 2 fighting, 2 colorless, has 170 damage, which is insane! Once you get this going, you should be able to just train roll your opponent. This attack's damage isn't affected by weakness or resistance, however, this Pokemon can't attack during your next turn. There's your downside! So you need a way to switch out Rhyperior or get him out of there somehow. We have a Lucario line, 120 HP fighting type Pokemon, has the Stance ability. When you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon during your turn, you may prevent all effects of attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon until the end of your opponent's next turn. It has Submarine Blow as its only attack, and it's going to cost you 3 straight up fighting energy, but it's going to do 120 damage, so it's a decent trade-off. Next up is we have one sock. Seriously? One sock. We have one sock, not 2. You can't have a pair. He is just one sock. 90 HP fighting type with Quick Guard. For 1 fighting energy, you get to prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by attacks from basic Pokemon during your opponent's next turn. You cannot use Quick Guard in concession. And then you have Brick Break, 1 fighting, 1 colorless, 40 damage. This attack's damage isn't affected by resistance of any effect on your opponent's active Pokemon. Cool. We have a couple copies of Soul Rock, 90 HP fighting type, has Double Draw. For 1 colorless energy, you can draw 2 cards. That's not bad. That's not bad. Start of the game, especially in this kind of format. Get a few extra cards early to set up your bigger attackers. And, of course, he's only got that 1 retreat cost, so that gives him that opportunity to be kind of useful in this. He also has Solar Heat, 1 fighting energy, 20 damage. If there is a Stadium card in play, this attack does 20 more damage. Our only non-fighting colorless Pokemon is Meowstic, who is a stage 1, 90 HP, has Allure. Same idea as Solrock. You get 1 psychic energy onto him, you can draw 3 cards. Beautiful. And then you also have Hand Kinesis, 2 colorless energy. You get to do 10 damage and does 10 more damage for each card in your hand. So if you are hoarding all those glorious cards for a simple double colorless energy, you could do a ton of damage. The only thing is, Meowstic is somewhat fragile at that 90 HP mark, so keep an eye out for that when using it. Our trainers are Energy Retrieval. You get to put 2 energies back into your deck. I am just doing so good with the descriptions today. Put 2 basic energies from your discard pile back into your hand. We've got the Escape Rope that lets each player switch their active, and your opponent will be doing it first. We've got the Nest Ball, which lets you search for a basic Pokemon, put it onto your bench. We've got a potion instead of the Malasada. Personally, I do like the Malasada more than the potion, but at least I get to heal a little bit more. We are more of a physical attacking team, so we want to make sure we can take more hits. We've got the Rescue Stretcher that lets us put a Pokemon from our discard pile into our hand, or we can shuffle 3 in any combination back into our deck. We've got Timer Balls, flip 2 coins for each head, search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, put it into your hand. We've got the Brooklet Hill, which is something the other deck did not have, was a stadium. Brooklet Hill lets us grab water or fighting type Pokemon, and basic ones, and we can put them on our bench, which is really cool. We've got the new Acerola. Put one of your Pokemon that has any damage counters on it and all cards attached to it back into your hand, which is great. You can just go soft reset and everything is good to go. We've got a couple copies of How. You get to draw 3 cards. We've got a couple copies of Professor Kukui. You get to draw 2 cards and you'll be doing 20 more damage. And the brand new Wishful Baton, which is a fantastic item in my opinion. When the Pokemon this card is knocked, when the Pokemon this card is attached to is knocked out by damage from an opponent's attack, move up to 3 basic energy cards from this Pokemon to your bench. I don't know why I'm tongue-tied today. It is just gonna be bad. Anyway, we've also got 14 fighting energy and 6 psychic energy. That is the deck. Can this one be as good or as bad as Luminous Frost? Let me know in the comment section below right now, which one did you prefer beforehand? And now that you've seen this one, do you think this one will actually stand a chance? I think this one's got a lot of potential too. I think that both overall were pretty good decks. Maybe not as good as, like, you know, Hidden Moon or some of those things, but it's got a lot of really good potential to do some damage, and I think I want to really give this one a shot and see just how well it does on the Pokemon TCG ladder. Alright guys, we are into our first match against Hybird 12, playing the Mental Might deck. It is still popular no matter what happens, because it's such a freebie deck. Now, I'm pretty interested to see how this deck is going to play out. I don't know why I'm grabbing my drink. I shouldn't be drinking on the recording. That is just wrong. We get to call this coin toss. We're going to call tails, even though that Lycanroc is very pretty. And I'm glad we did, because we will have the opportunity to go first here. We're steady on our way to victory. I'm going to lead with the Soul Rock. Dropping an energy is alright, considering I can start going for draws on the next turn after that while I'm trying to set up the rest of my bench. Beautiful plays. And Solar Heat can do some damage if I feel like I've got too much going for me already. It'd be nice if I had the Esper line. Speaking of which, there's the Esper line. I'm not going to use the Kukui just yet, because I can do some damage on the following turn or the turn after. I really would like to set up the Meowstic line. With the setup that I have, I can get a ton of cards currently into my hand and build off that power. We are going to get ourselves a Rhyhorn. And I do want to put this fighting energy down onto the Rockruff without the Meowstic in hand. I don't want to be depending on it. And I'm not going to go for the Kukui just yet, but we will grab a few more cards. I get a Nest Ball, which will help us get another basic. Or I don't have to use it, because all the main important basics are all here. We are going to see that my opponent has evolved into Kirlia, which is a bad thing for us, because Gallade is a very big powerhouse. We are going to get a Rhyperior here. No real reason to do anything other than to try and set up this Rockruff. And I'm just going to go for another double draw. I got a Rescue Stretcher. I got Utility for the end game, which is great. And I'm getting all my fighting energy. I can use the Psychic Energies on Esper. I might drop the good old Psychic Energy down on Esper this turn instead of setting up Lycanroc, since I don't have either evolution right now. We are going to see our opponent grabs the Skitty, which is a prime target for our fighting types, whereas these guys are not. And he does have that Gallade out already. And now it's not all that powerful yet. We're going to get Nasarola. I'm going to drop down the Psychic Energy here because it's only a matter of time before we draw into a evolution Pokemon, and if it is Meowstic, I will have a ton of cards ready to go. So we're going to go for another double draw. It is more energy. Alright, I see ya, I see ya. Again, now we can set up either one. We've got enough energy to even set up Rhyperior. My opponent does have that Miltank, who is a very powerful mon now. We're going to see the energy retrieval. I'm not getting much. I'm going to fully set up Rockruff now. And I'm not going to miss an energy drop just because it could be more power. Oh, we get the ride online. That's great. So I set up the wrong Pokemon, technically. It's not the wrong Pokemon. It's just a matter of now I can actually use these cards. My opponent has not gotten any additional energy cards, though. That is a big one. Hard Charm onto the Milotic. That's not going to do anything. That's not going to do anything. Okay, we got to suck. I'm not even going to play that. It gives me the opportunity to keep the energy going. He says hello. I'll say hello. There we go. Hello. I'm going to set up my Esper fully. And then I can start working on my... Oh, hold on, hold on. I want to actually get this guy down. I know it's going to be a little bit less damage for Meowstic if I manage to get Meowstic up. But... Oh, I got a ton of Rhydon that are just going to sit in my hand anyway, so it's okay. What's nice is I do have this Acerola, so in case that Solrock does get hit... Ooh, that's going on you. If only I could get some evolution Pokemon, that would be great. We are going to discard 3 cards off the top of my opponent's deck. 1, 2, 3. I got rid of a Ralts. Beautiful. Gonna keep going with these energy drops. In fact, I might hold on to these 2 now, because now that I've got that Wishful Baton on the Rockruff, I don't need to go too heavy on it. I'm just going to keep going for evolutions here, though. I'm about to run into like a Timer Ball or something that could actually get me some cards. I'm halfway through the deck. I have not pulled any of the evolutions that we actually set up. Woobat is finally going to get a chance to knock us, do some damage, and actually fails on both attempts. We got a second Esper. Not really necessary. I'm just going to go for another double draw. I have no intention of doing anything. And my opponent actually is resisted to my attack. We get a Nest Ball. What is life right now? I can't find the 2 evolutions. I know there's double Rockruff. I know there's at least 1 Meowstic. We're going to see this good old powerful friends come up. And this is bad. Actually does not knock us out. We get another Solrock. What is life right now? I need to waste these Kukuis. Can I even knock you out right now? I don't think so. I'm going to go for a Brooklet Hill. Kukui gets me a Lucario. I have not pulled a Riolu yet. I could do 20, 40. It's 60, 120. I don't knock it out because of the Hard Charm. But this is insane, guys. I am going to go with the Solar Heat this turn. This way I can... Oh, I just simply knock it out. What? I'm a little lost. I know I did 100, but it had 120. Doesn't it? Oh, it's a flat 100. Waha! Alright, so I got rid of the powerful friend. And I got the Timer Ball I need to start setting up. My opponent is weak to Psychic, so down goes my good old Solrock. I am going to bring in my Esper. Because it is technically my best play. I could get my Meowstic now. No, I get an Esper. But I do have the Timer Ball. Okay, we get 1. And Meowstic is our best play, because I will be doing a ton of damage here. Meowstic is going to evolve into our most perfect little kitty cat. And now, like I said, I have a ton of damage down, which is absolutely beautiful. I plan to use this Kukui right now. It gets me into a better position for the following turn, and I'm going to go for hand kinesis. That is 400 damage in theme deck format. That means I hit a natural 200 damage. This is absurd! Absurd! Glade going down one shot to a Meowstic. People just don't see that happening in theme deck format. You do not see that! You don't see that! One of the strongest decks just went down to a kitty cat. And it took us forever to set this up, though. Like, don't go for this if you don't have to, but this took us forever. But we could have done that off of, what, 7 cards in hand? So a full fresh hand in regular play could have taken out the Glade because of the super effective. My opponent is just going to hand us the victory because you know what, at this point, Meowstic is just set up to do a massive amount of damage, and there's not a whole lot they can do about it. So right now, really liking the concepts of like having multiple different ways of attacking, and again, there's a lot of raw power behind this deck. So can it maintain another win? I think so. I think it's got the potential to do it, but let's just see how it goes in match number 2. Alright, match number 2 is here against We Like Trains, and they're playing the, I forget the name of it. Hidden Depths? I think is what it is. It's a water deck with Lapras and Magikarp and those kind of things. But we're going to play first, which I'm fine with. I start with a Bouffalant or a Lucario. Or, sorry, why am I saying Lucario? I'm actually going to start with a Bouffalant because I do get that damage resist. And I have the Brooklet Hill so I can start getting my fighting types out. I just want to make sure I can get my Meowstic, because that will be a big one. And then I can play a little differently, kind of keep my resources in back. But I'll be able to, unfortunately though, this Brooklet Hill will help my opponent out. Let's hold off on it until I actually need it. I kind of need it. I want to get that Rockruff down. But it's not an essential thing. You know what? Let's pass. I've got 2 Pokemon on the field right now that can handle this. I've got an Acerola that I can pick up the Bouffalant now. That's a great play too, is I can just pick it up, grab all the energy that I have on it, and then just start replaying it. My opponent's going to play a Professor's Letter, which will get them 2 additional energies, which means that Magikarp is going to be pretty scary. I have no sniping action with this deck either, so it's just all straight up power. But we are going to go... We have a full way of setting up this Bouffalant, which I'm just going to go with the damage reduction right now. I'll be doing it on the same turn, same thing next turn. Just damage reduction. This way, in case that Gyarados does decide to come in, I'm not going to be taking as much damage. We're going to see a Dive Ball, which is going to get Gyarados, 100%. Gyarados is going to come in. Does need another energy, though, to be able to fully attack me. And again, I will be going for that full-on damage reduction. But I might want to set up that Lucario soon. Lucario? Lucario could do it, but I should actually be going for the Rockruff. Let's just drop Brooklet Hill, because it'll help us both out. I'm alright with this, too. Let's see. Espers are in the deck. I've got 3 of them. Not going to help me too much here, though. Let's go for the Rockruff on this turn. Get that down onto the field. This way I can kind of start setting up the Lycanroc. And if for whatever reason something happens on this turn that the Bouffalant does not make it, I want to have the opportunity to go for some more damage against the Gyarados. So we are going to get Rhyperior. Doesn't matter. I don't have a Rhydon. Actually puts up the Vaporeon next, which is great for me. Does set up that Gyarados. Is looking for that Aqua Tail. N! When do we see N in Theme Deck format? But that was also pretty helpful. Because now I can put a Wishful Baton onto this good old Bouffalant and move its energies over to Rockruff, which means I can kind of start setting up the Lucario. And if I can manage to flip some stuff on this good old Timer Ball, I might actually do okay. My opponent is doing a fantastic play, though, in terms of waiting. So I can drop... Do I just naturally knock you out, or are you 90? I'm going to drop the energy here. Go for that timer ball. I land 1. I really should get my Lycanroc back. Because at least I can hit for some damage once the Gyarados does go down. And I'm going to go for the big attack this turn. Get rid of my oh, hold on. If I'm going to get rid of my stadium, let's use it. Let's get this Rhydon down. Or Rhyhorn, I mean. Because then I can at least evolve. I don't need Soul Rock this turn. I'm going to go for the big attack now, discarding my Brooklet Hill. So that neither of us can benefit it. This way they just got 1 card out of it, not 2. 4 energy onto Gyarados. That is scary. I don't need to use the Kukui. I don't really need to use anything here. I'm just going to set up this Rhydon. And I'm going to go for that Bouffalant Head. Is this going to even save me, though? I don't think so. Unless they manage to not manage some attacks. We're going to go for the Bouffalant Head. And I will take a Vaporeon out. I get a Fighting Energy, which is great. 120, you have 130. I don't do enough damage, quite. I have a resistance, though. Aqua Tail lands 1. Oh, it's going to get me. It's going to get me. 120, exactly 120! But we're going to take all 3 energy and attach them to this Rockruff. Or, sorry, Lycanroc. I'm getting my names mixed up. It's bad. But we are going to get this Lycanroc all ready to go. My opponent does take the prize. We're going to go in here, set up. I can't knock this thing out, so playing my Kukui. Oh, I got 2 of them now. Actually, I might want to do that, just in case. I'm going to set up an energy onto the Riolu. This way I know I can knock out this Gyarados on the following turn, which is a big threat. Accelerock is going to do 120 damage. And this is going to leave my opponent with just 10 HP. And I'm not threatened by the Gyarados now. Because that is going to be a lot of setup going to the discard pile. Now, they will need to land 4 coin flips. They'll need to at least land 1. Oh, they landed 1. They landed 2. So I'm going to go down as well. My Lycanroc is going to go down. Sad but true. My Riolu is the one coming in. This Articuno is also a threat. I'm going to put this on you. I'm going to hope and pray that I can get some stuff soon. We're in a bit of a tight jam. I'm going to go for the low kick, just in case I don't think you're resisted. No, you're not, but I just wanted to be safe and sorry. We get a Fighting Energy, which is okay. I can set up Rhydon now. Get a turn or 2 to kind of handle up. He's actually just going to... She's just going to put up... I've been saying it's a he. It's been a she the whole time. She's going to just put up the Goldeen. It's going to be a Sea King now. So it's got a little bit more HP behind it. But still going to do some reckless damage. So it can hit me for 40. It'll do 10 to itself. I still don't knock it out. I'm in a bit of a bind here. I need some setup. If I could pull Lucario right now, that would be insane. That would be insane. Because that would save us so much agony, so much trouble. The Reckless Charge is going to hit me for 40. He's going to take 10 itself. Come on, Lucario. Come on, Lucario. Fighting Energy is not Lucario. I'm going to set this up for some damage. I got a sock. let's get some damage down the Sea King. Hit for 50. So he hasn't got long left. I can kind of go in with Soul Rock and maybe draw some cards and let him knock himself out. I'm not worried on the prize count yet. It's that Articuno that is threatening me. And down goes my Riolu. We'll take 10 here. I got another Rhyhorn. I'm not drawing the cards this time. I'm going to set myself back a turn, but I'm going to try and get myself another Fighting Energy for Rhydon. I got the Fighting Energy for Rhydon, so I'm not behind. And again, I'm going to let him just knock himself out here. It's just going to draw cards for her. I know that, but I'm in a bad spot. Max Potion on the Sea King. Oh my Jesus. And it's not going to be that because they're going to be able to knock me out now from the Soaking Horn being able to do 90 from the heal. I think we've lost. I think we've lost. But I'm not giving up hope. Rhydon can still come through. Rhydon can still kind of come through here. I should have put up the sock prior, but I've been wasting so many turns, and I did not see that play coming. I did not see that play coming. I'll be 100% honest with you. Now, in regards, I can knock out Sea King if it takes one hit. Which is great. But then I've got the Articuno to deal with, which I can't knock out in one shot. Not unless I get Rhyperior. I might get Rhyperior. We only took 10 off of that last attack. So I don't know if it was that they felt sorry for us or they just hit the wrong attack. But they're going to buy us some turns. I get 1. Okay, Rhyperior is actually in this deck, which is awesome. I can't evolve it, though. I just want to say this now. I cannot evolve it. I need to be able to hit both of these in one turn, in 2 turns. So as long as I don't get end, I should be okay. Do I have Meowstic in here? No. I was about to say, if I had Meowstic in there, I should have been setting that up the whole time. But I'm just going to pass this turn. I could get another energy drop down onto Rhydon. They know I have the Rhyperior in my hand. Drops the 4th energy needed for Freezing Wind. Which is fine, because even Rhydon can handle that. Oh, now I get this. I could draw some cards. Potentially get a heal for Rhydon, like a potion or escape rope or anything like that. That would be great. That's not really what I wanted, though. I don't really need the escape rope. Pokemon Catcher. Thank you! Oh, I didn't know that was in that. I forget these decks after not playing them for so long. I forget what's in them. That could have changed the game significantly. Because right now, I just want to draw cards. I want to get back into this game. I have the momentum. It's just a matter of retreating now, which I can do. Reckless Charge, and I'm not going to give up my prize, which is huge. Reckless Tumble, they did exactly what I wanted them to do, actually. I can drop this energy down here. I can retreat into my Rhydon. We can tie this up! I just am going to go for the safe Rock Tumble, which will knock out Sea King. I can pull up the Soul Rock. Ooh! Okay, Articuno can come up, can only do 100 damage unless they don't have Kukui or anything like that. Water Energy Drop onto the Vaporeon. They are starting to realize we might have this game! Ooh! Oh, we were done for, but we might be able to pull this back. They can only hit me for 100. So Rhydon will survive this turn. We are going to go with the Rhyperior play here. Set up, I am going to definitely mill you 3 cards. We are able to actually go for the Rock Wrecker, which is going to do a lot more damage. I'm going to set up this Meowstic because I think we can save it. I shouldn't have attached the energy. I should have acid-rolled it so it'll be fresh when it comes in. That's actually what I'm going to do now, though. Bring up the Meowstic and drop down the Esper. Gonna keep the other one in hand. I need to make sure I have a second attacker. Rock Wrecker will take out this good old Articuno, and that is the biggest threat gone. We are taking the prize pool back. Whew. This is close. This is good. I thought for sure we lost this like mid-game, but we're starting to make a comeback here. They need another energy on this Vaporeon in order to do anything. I might go into my Sock. No, Sock isn't that great of a play. It has the Healing Scarf, doesn't matter too much. Still needs 2 energy. I can win this game. Oh, I'm gonna still set up this. I'm still gonna set up Meowstic just to be safe in case I can't see the next play. Unless I can't see the next play, or they pull a double colorless energy out of nowhere and are just able to win this. But we actually pulled it back. Rhyperior saving us the game, holding off on that evolution, making sure to play with Rhydon first, then going in with the Rhyperior. They got the water energy too little too late. We are going to go in here and claim game number 2. Woo! Hold on to your evolutions, folks. Sometimes playing them first is not necessary. We managed to get that guaranteed 80 damage off. They gave us that 10 damage onto that Sea King early enough that we were able to survive the turn and take it out. We were able to retreat, keep that prize momentum in our favor, and at the end of the day, played the cards properly to actually come out of that with a win. I feel pretty good about that one. I know usually I make a lot of misplays, but I feel like I actually did better in this set. I know I had a lot of people saying, you know, especially in my Solgaleo video in the last set for Guardians Rising, where there were a lot of plays that I could have made. I think I focused on the right ones this time, and we got the wins, which is beautiful. I like both of these decks. Both of these decks do have a ton of potential. They have ways of getting their Pokemon, extra damage, ways of getting to damage that are not just your natural way, like Meowstic being able to handle the biggest meta in Theme Deck format being Mental Might, just itself being a check is awesome. And then having Rhyperior doing some mill, having a major attack of 170 in a Theme Deck, it means it's going to knock out everything, even if it has resistance, it's just going to knock it out. Obviously at the cost of losing a turn for it. But there are so many amazing things in this deck and in Luminous Frost. I can't tell you which one I liked more. I personally am a bit more into this one. I think just because of the raw power, but in terms of which one will actually be better, I think Luminous Frost does take it, because obviously if you're buying it for parts, Alolan Ninetales is really good, especially when you start going against GXs and EXs. It's got that safeguard, it has that potential to be amazing with that. It has a lot of really cool tricks as well. Personally, I think both decks are amazing, and you should definitely look into both of them. They were a lot of fun, huge recommendation from me. But that is going to be it for me. If you guys are brand new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, because it does mean the world to me. You guys come out and watch the videos on the regular. But I'm going to get myself out of here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. But until then, time out.